Welcome to another episode of Fresh Off the Set. I'm Brooke Mangum.
And I'm Jennifer Stalin.
Oh, we've got some fun today. Dancing with the Stars, people. We've got Lannie Wadsworth is on. She is an art director, professional dancer, actress, athlete, model, choreographer, writer, producer. There is nothing that this woman cannot do.
She does everything.
She does it all. So, okay, Dancing with the Stars. So what people may not know this about you is that she can actually dance, people, right? None of us on this show can dance, but you can. Tell me a little bit about your background.
I started dancing when I was 3. I was a D1 cheerleader at the University of Florida, and it was co-ed, so all the girls were flyers. But then I also made a move and was an NFL cheerleader for 3 years.
Casually, casually an NFL cheerleader.
It was something I just wanted to do. I auditioned during COVID. Out of 1,400 girls, I was one of 32 to make the team, and then had to learn what hair flips were and hairography.
Okay, that's a real thing. So
it's a real thing.
If you were on Dancing with the Stars, I feel like you could compete.
It's actually one of my dreams. I want to be on Dancing with the Stars. I just have to become a star first. That part.
You're a star to me. I'm like, if there's no chance I could ever be on, I can't dance. But if I were a professional dancer, if you were a professional dancer on Dancing with the Stars, who would you want your star to be? What celebrity do you want to dance with?
Ooh.
Mine's Chris Hemsworth for obvious reasons.
Wow.
That's the only way I'm going to be able to touch him.
Wow. Maybe Zac Efron.
Okay.
You know, his brother was just on it. Let's get him on it.
I like it. Okay. Well, without further ado, let's talk to the real star here and talk to Lannie.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alora Murray, and I am here, and I am so excited because I am talking to one of my favorite people. She inspires me in all the ways. Lannie Wadsworth is here. She is a dancer extraordinaire. She is a model. She is a scoliosis survivor. She is just truly an amazing human, and we are lucky enough to have her on the show today. But I'm going to call you Lannie because that's what I know you as. So
yes.
I introduced your fancy name, Elaine.
So funny. I love that you're calling me Lannie. I tell people, I'm like, that's what my friends call me. Yeah. And that's what my Instagram has. It's Lannie Lane. And I just love that.
Well,
I love being here.
Welcome,
Thank you for having
Lannie.
me.
We are so excited to talk to you. And honestly, you have so many extraordinary stories. We could be here for hours. Yeah. Let's start right off the bat with your journey as a dancer, because it is extraordinary. You have a pretty substantial following on Instagram, and you've done a lot of things. But for those who don't know you yet, can you share a bit about your background and, like a short little tidbit of your career?
A short little tidbit. Okay, my background, yes, I'm a dancer, and I'm a creative, enthusiastic person that I just, whatever creative I'm just want my hands into. I'd love to start with the fact that what I went through when I was younger has formed me into who I am today. And when I was in junior high, they did the typical go into your locker room and they're going to check your back. And I happened to be one of those people with a very crooked back, which is called scoliosis. I had no idea what that was, except for I have a really scary future ahead of myself. That's how I felt it. And I didn't know what to do. Came home. My dad was on the phone with a doctor at the time, which is my aunt. And I was like, Dad, I have scoliosis. He's like, what's that? And I'm like, looked at my shirt. I'm like, Dad, I have scoliosis. He's like, oh, I don't even know what to do with this. So from there, we went to Children's Primary Hospital. I was put in a body brace for 5 years of my life due to the fact that my curvage was pretty prominent. And then from there, so I had it throughout all high school, and I think I got rid of my cast like the last 4 months of high school. During this time, I kind of love this age because it's a matter of like, we really define who we are, who we want to be. And I know it can change later in life. Obviously, we all go through those stages, but it's really huge in those time periods. So I loved dancing, and I had cousins who were going to center stage. I've heard great things from them. Mm-hmm. We can get into that later. And I just was like, I just want to dance because it was a form of a language that I just really didn't know how to express myself during that time. And I really wanted some type of escape because here I am, the cards are laid in front of me. I have to wear a body brace 23 hours a day, and I have to be a certain way in order to fix whatever quote unquote problem that I have. And so I just kept dancing and dancing and dancing, and it was my escape. And when it became performance days, I was allowed to take off my body brace for the performance, and then back in I was. And then I was competing, and one day at a competition, I performed this routine with 5 other guys. So they're just lifting and tossing me everywhere. And I loved it so much. And then they brought me on the floor and said, we'd like to offer you a full scholarship to go to college for dance. Blew my mind. And of course I took it and the opportunity to dance because I just loved it so much. And then I was in college. I danced throughout college, and then I was on Dancing with the Stars, won a Mirror Ball trophy with my college league team. It was incredible. And then right after that, literally the summer after that, I ended up going into the doctor's office, checking up on how things are looking, and they said, unfortunately, you have about 3 more years till you're going to be puncturing a lung. So it is finally time for us to go forward with the surgery. And that I knew was coming at a young age, like I said, when they told me, you're going to have surgery, but we're going to have to put you in the body race to kind of prevent it from getting worse. I wanted to explain that because right then and there, I knew if I wanted to do the things that I wanted to do, or what I ever dreamt of, I needed to do and take action right then and there. And that's why I kept dancing. That's why I wanted to be on Dancing with the Stars. That's why I wanted to go to the British Open Championships. I'm like, everything that I ever dreamt of when I was little, I was able to succeed and do before I had to have the surgery. So when they came and told me that I had to have the surgery, I was like, all right, I am all open and let's do this. Like, I just had this positive, like, it's gonna be okay. And I felt like I was on top of my world and thought that I was like, already did everything. But a lot of you that don't know who I am, I actually have continued doing things that I never, ever thought was possible, and especially in the condition that I was after the surgery. I had my surgery. I was fused from the top of my back down to L3, so T1 down to L3.
Oh my gosh.
Completely fused, and I was straightened up, which is also a miracle. Some people, unfortunately, don't get to have that much of straight correction. And I think they explained to me, due to the fact that I was so flexible in my spine with all my training that I had done when dancing, which is great, right?
Yes.
They were able to straighten me up. In a matter of 5 hours, I gained 3 inches taller. So crazy and amazing. And I remember waking up and thinking, what am I going to do? I felt like my identity, I felt like everything that I worked for my entire life was gone. And I just remember, okay, deep breaths. What's today? And so every single day was a matter of, I had to learn that each little success that was, whether learning how to roll over, to sit up, put on my own shirt, to stand up, to walk my first steps, everything was a success. It was, I had to celebrate that. I did it. That was a win. Yes, let's keep going, because I have no idea how much more I can do.
And I mean, I have someone very, very close to me who has scoliosis, who has been through a lot. And so hearing you talk about this is truly inspirational to people who have scoliosis and maybe other people who have had another ailment that they're like, well, who am I now? This element is keeping me from doing what I want. What is recovery going to be like? And one of the reasons I just love following your social account is because you still talk about it. And you are still letting people know that, you know what, I see you, I know what it feels like, and I am here for you. And look what I have done now. And I want to talk a little bit about that, because you said, you know, you woke up that day and you were like, well, who am I now? And like, I mean, on a smaller scale, I remember as a dancer myself, I had double knee surgery and I knew I was done. And that is part of your identity. What fueled you to keep going? Because you are dancing again, Lannie.
Yes.
You are dancing again. You are not only dancing again, you are modeling. You are like, you have worked with so many of the Dancing with the Stars troupe. You basically trained most of them.
Yes.
And this was all after that surgery where you had to learn how to walk again, where you had to learn how to put your shirt on again. How did you keep going? How did you get from there to where you are now?
I think the fact that I was setting goals for myself. I mean, I definitely had big goals behind the shades. I didn't let people know
We
about it.
love a goal getter. We love a goal getter.
But I also wanted to be a little bit more practical. The fact is like, okay, today my 100% is only this. And so I just like little bit at a time, I just had to keep going. I was teaching at Center Stage right before my surgery. And I was teaching an incredible team, which most of us actually know a lot of the members now. Alexis, Ezra,
Alexis has been on this show
Riley.
before. We love her.
I mean, they were all on the same team, and I loved it. I just love them so much. Stephanie, oh my gosh, I love every single one of those kids. I've known them since they were like 5. I am very proud, very proud. More than anything, I think I'm more proud of the fact of like who they've become. Mm-hmm. Because not only are they so incredibly talented, but as human beings, they are just wonderful human beings. And to just think that I had one small part of their life to help raise them or to contribute and encourage them to follow their dreams is seriously one of the biggest rewards of being a part of that. I do want to touch on the fact that my social media that I do is to help others. That is my why. That is the reason why I continue to be on social media, is because I remember when I was going through recovery, I didn't feel like I had that much support, and I didn't know where to go or how to help myself. And so when I started learning a few things here and there, and then all of a sudden social media became an explosive thing where we can all network and like work together, it was pretty incredible and letting us connect with people from all over the world. I knew this was an opportunity for myself to help others when they're having a hard time or they have questions or uncertainty. It's nice to know that you're not alone. And I want people to know that they are not alone. I may not have had the same experience as them, but I've definitely been through a lot. And I also have experienced like how to get on the other side of things. Yeah. So if anything, I just want people to know that they're not alone. There is an incredible crew out there that is cheering for them. And I'm just one of those.
It's broader than just scoliosis warriors. So what would you say to someone who is like, you know what, I have something I'm dealing with and it is just impossible to overcome? What would you say to them?
First thing I would say is, I'm sorry about being so cheesy, but nothing is impossible to overcome. No. I think it's a matter of will, and if you're wanting it, then just do it. I had an amazing science teacher who was also my ballroom instructor growing up, and she taught me the saying of be a rhino and keep charging.
Ooh, yeah. I love it.
And even just the other day, she just messaged me. She's like, keep charging. And I'm just like, oh, I just love her so much. Do not give up on whatever hopes and dreams that you have, because it is ultimately up to you. The truth is, you will find your tribe. But it is you who are taking the steps forward. They will be there to support you and like encourage you and all that stuff, but it is ultimately up to you to take the steps forward. It's up to you to charge forward. So what would I say to them is be patient with yourself and know that the impossible is possible. I tell people, write in a journal. It's old-fashioned. I have to write things down. I do too. And times when I am feeling like, okay, setback, I feel so stuck right now. I'm like, I gotta write it down. Here are my goals. This is my target. And I have that right in front of me every day to look at and be like, okay, does this help me go towards that goal? If not, I know that's the process of elimination. And I know that writing it down and goals and stuff, it's like, then you know what to focus on and how to go forward with it. I also want people to know that there are going to be setbacks, but writing down also like what you've been going through, you can always go back to that journal entry and be like, okay, where was I a year from now? Where was I 2 weeks from now? Or what was I doing? What was I feeling? And then you could see like, oh my gosh, I have come so far since then.
I mean, do you want to be my therapist, lady? I'm like,
just do it.
I have learned more from Lannie in the last 4 minutes. I love that, because really, when we are in those places, sometimes it's hard to take those actions. And this is a completely different scale from what you went through. But when I had my beautiful baby boy, I had severe postpartum. Ugh. And movement, too, for me, is huge. Exercise is one of the things that has brought me, out of my anxiety. But with postpartum depression, you can't exercise until you get a clear. That's with any pregnancy. And so for weeks, I couldn't move my body the way that I wanted. And I was like, there is nothing I can do. This is awful. There's nothing I can do. And I was like, wait, I can go on slow walks. I can walk at maybe 2 miles per hour on the treadmill. And I do a lot of Peloton stuff, and it always it keeps a score. And as the year went on, my PR kept changing. I slowly got better. 10 more points, 50 more points. And the other day I looked at something and it was 100-point difference. And I was like, you know what, for those out there who feel like there is an obstacle, you still have hope.
Absolutely.
And it may be the slowest, most sticky road possible, but it is still a road. 1 mile per hour is still a speed.
Yes.
Snail's speed is still a speed, and you are still going forward.
Yes. And it didn't turn out to what you thought it was going to be, did it?
Oh, no. And what's interesting now is I am actually in a healthier place with exercise than I was pre-pregnancy, and a healthier headspace.
Yes.
I mean, was that sticky road fun? Absolutely, it was not.
No, and no one wants to sign themselves up for something like that, but it's a matter of like, oh, well, here we are in that situation, so what do we do? So I love the fact that you ended up, okay, one little bit. My 100% today may have been someone's like 10% yesterday. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You are your own self and you are in your own journey. So do what you need to do.
And I love it. And I mean, now talk to us a little bit now about what your dancing and modeling career look like right now, because you're still dancing, my friend. Talk to us about that.
Yes, I'm still dancing. I love it. So after my surgery, which is a crazy story, and only I think a little bit of people know about this, but I was asked, I think about like 4 or 5 months after my surgery. This is like, I'm laying on my back, staring at a ceiling thinking like, what am I doing? Yeah. I had a partner call me up and he's like, do you want to audition to compete? I was like, you know what I just went through, right? Yeah. There was that negative thought. I realized that there was that negative thought. I was putting myself in that situation of I can't and I will not, instead of try
I can and I will not.
And I can and see the possibilities of this. So I went to an audition without telling my husband. I'm just going out for errands. I'll be back. And I showed up the audition and I gave it my all. And my all was very rough that day. I'm telling you, guys, I had fused my entire back, gained 3 inches, and it did not feel anything the same to what it felt.
You were probably
prior.
like, is this my body?
Yes, I was in a whole different body. However, I kept doing my practices. I kept just appreciating my body and whatever phase it was going through. And yes, there were days that I was thinking to myself, ouch, I think I'm making things worse. What am I doing? All that stuff. But let me talk about one of the competitions I think it was about 8 months later that I'm on the competition floor, gorgeous gown. My partner and I just barely make it to the semifinals, and I'm thinking I'm not going to make it to the finals, right?
And that's what's so stressful about ballroom to me is that you're all out there on the floor, and they're like, number 82 is great, not you, and you're like, am I being seen?
You are being seen for a matter of 3 seconds to determine what placement you deserve, and you have to hope that those 3 seconds are your best 3 seconds on the floor. Yeah, it is insane. It is insane. A lot of respect for everyone out there that's competing or putting themselves out there, but I remember we just made the final and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Yeah. And then I had tons of coaches come up to me and just telling me what I needed to do, what I needed to work on. And I was like, whoa, like way too much. Let me advise, like you don't want that much change happening before you go on to perform your finale. And so I took my partner aside and I said to him, I was like, forget what they just said to us. I'm like, just remember why we are doing this.
I love it.
And like, I remember the fact I never thought that I'd be dancing again. So anytime an opportunity I was on the floor, I mean, besides crying my eyes out because I was so grateful that my body was moving again. And even though it didn't feel the same or look the same, I was just so thrilled to be there and sharing the love that I had for dance to many other people. And that's the feeling I got when I went back on that floor. And it was just my partner and I. And I'm telling you, I had so many people come up to me that day afterwards and said, I couldn't keep my eyes off of you.
Yes.
And it's that presence that people bring when finally they just let go, they resist, and all of a sudden it's a matter of surrendering and accepting and just totally just being their amazing, bright, shining selves. And that's what I think, that's the key right there. No matter who you are, what you're going through, or whatever situation you're in, just remember your why. And whether that's for your family that you're doing this for, whether that's for someone who's passed away that you're doing this for, or doing it for yourself, you gotta remember your why and then just go for it and don't hold back. At the end of that story, I guess I should conclude, we did win our first world champion, and I died. I was crying so hard, and it just happened to be, which is another story, is one of my best friends who's a paraplegic happened to be right there at the competition. And
oh my gosh, Lannie,
we were all just...
I don't think I have cried this many times in a podcast.
I'm just saying the impossible is definitely possible.
That is giving me all the inspiration. And it is no wonder to me that you were a dance teacher.
Oh, thank you.
And I can only imagine how much those dancers adored you. I mean, we have these dancers that you've taught that have been pros on Dancing with the Stars. Alexis, who is over there in England.
Yes.
I mean, what has been one of your most memorable with all these Dancing with the stars?
They're wonderful. They're wonderful. I do remember taking moments of gathering them, and when a stressful situation happened, or we were about to do a show on America's Got Talent or World of Dance. And,
Oh, geez. I mean,
and
Lannie,
they were,
you drop these shows like they're not a big deal.
Oh, it was a big deal, and we had so much fun. It was a lot of work, and at Center Stage, I'm super proud of the work that we put in and how we get ourselves out there. But I do remember taking the time with each of them and just letting them know it is up to you, and to also know that your love and your passion for this, I don't want you to forget, because sometimes it's gonna go crazy, and you're gonna get so stressed out, and you're thinking, am I enough? You gotta let go, because sooner or later that moment is going to be gone. And what we did during that moment is what we're going to take with us the rest of our lives. So I've told them so many times, like even after a big show or during a show, I just did this. I'm so excited. I'm like, did you write it? Did you write it down? Because I want you to go back. I want you to go back and to remember this moment, because it's going to be gone so fast. Are you having fun? Are you just thriving and being yourself? And if you're not, and I could see it, I'm there just to tell them again, come on. I know you, and everyone else deserves to see you.
And you were probably one of everyone's favorite teachers at
I
Center
love
Stage.
them.
And it's obviously a testament to your teaching skills that they have all gone on. And you mentioned big names, like I said, Alexis, Ezra.
They've all, and Jenna and Lindsay and Whitney, I was teaching there, but they were in the youth program at the moment, and I had the youngers with me, and so I've known Jenna and Lindsay since they were little also, and we were all competing on the same competitions, and what incredible families they have, seriously.
I really tried. So I grew up dancing, right?
Yes.
Really tried to do ballroom dance. Really, really tried. I cannot relax enough to move my hips.
Oh.
I will pay you to be my private dance instructor. The rumba was the hardest thing in the world for me.
The rumba.
I am not good at it.
Oh, dear.
At all. And I couldn't even do standard because the fact that I need to be attached to someone the whole time, because I did ballet and jazz. I admire anyone who does ballroom, because it is like a bajillion styles that are similar but not.
Yes.
And I did a competition when I was like 20-something, and I got 4th out of 4. It was not a great
But you did a competition, which is pretty spectacular, because the time and effort that you put in just to show up at that competition is amazing.
And it's funny you say this. Looking back, did I have fun? No, because I was so stressed about being good.
Interesting.
And I clearly wasn't. So had I just let that go, things may have been different.
Yes.
So I'm like, I should have had you as my teacher. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we can totally talk about it later. I also tell people, I'm like, whatever energy, whatever thing you have going on outside, you leave it and you come onto the floor and you perform your floor.
Yeah.
But I almost want to take that back and say, whatever you have going on in your life, express it on the floor.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Because it's what builds us. Okay, tell me this. You see a child that comes out on the floor for the very first time performing and dancing, and you can just tell they are letting go of everything, and they're just going for it. You could see that they are so hungry for it.
Because I taught 5 to 7 year olds.
Oh yeah, you've seen it. You've seen it.
I taught 5 to 7 year olds jazz.
Yes, I love that.
So yes, I have seen it.
I love that.
We've talked really heavily about your past, who has made you who you are today.
Yeah.
We talked about those moments right after. We've talked about your teaching. London is my favorite city in the world, everyone. And Lannie up and went to some huge modeling gig in London. This woman does everything, and she's like a creative director. We didn't even talk about that.
Oh my gosh.
Who does all of that.
Yes.
But what is next for you?
Oh,
because
boy.
you are not someone to stop now.
No.
Do you have any exciting projects? Maybe private lessons someone like me could sign up for? Performances you're looking forward to? What's next for Lannie?
This is a good question, and I've been thinking about this a lot. Recently, I've had to change a career due to the fact that there are just a bunch of laybacks and stuff like that are happening, and we're all kind of like, yeah, we understand because we're all going through it. It's true. It's tough, but I'm very open to anything that comes my way. During that time, I've really wanted wanted to get in touch with who I am, because I also got caught in the corporate world of do.
We worked together for a hot minute.
We did.
In that corporate world.
We did. And it was a matter of, I need to impress you in order to feel validated and appreciated. And now I realize that it doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't need to be that way. And we are all humans, and we're all trying to do our best. And if we are showing up, then like, way to go. I know there's a matter of like more that we can always do. So right now I could talk about, I get asked to do productions. I get asked to do directing. I'm on video set. I joined a film crew, and I was helping them with videos and recording a whole movie about World War I, and that was an amazing experience. And then the next second I'm asked to do graphic design work, because I'm like, sure, why not? I have my hands in this. I definitely want to learn more about this. And all of a sudden, a big corporate event is happening, and I'm one of their IT graphic design people. Who would have known? And then I'm getting called to go do country line dancing for a star, and I'm not allowed to say who they are, but they fly me out, and I get everybody out, the whole crowd up on their feet and having a good time on the floor, or I'm performing and sharing my story with other big corporate events, or I'm modeling, or I'm acting, and whatever that is, it's definitely in the creative world that I'm doing. Taking lessons again, which I didn't think that I would be doing, but I realized during that time that I was kind of, to say off, but really never off. If you know me, I never stop.
Well, that's why I was like, well, what's next?
So what's next? I began taking lessons again, because it is something that dance is something that is truly part of my identity, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. And if I'm going to be out there dancing and performing, I want to be representing that dance world in a way that I've always wanted to represent it. And so I'm very specific on who I have lessons with. I want to make sure that they know their stuff. And not only that, is like they also have a deeper understanding of like soul and love and appreciation for other people.
Love that. I think that's so important, because I have had many dance teachers in my life, and I can tell you there is a difference.
There is a difference.
And I think that's so basically what's next is everything under the
I
sun.
know.
We could see Lannie on the red carpet. We could see
No, you will see Lannie on the red carpet. You will see Lannie in a movie.
Yes.
You will see Lannie performing and doing her absolute dream that she's always dreamt of. You will. It's just a matter of when that will be.
I have cried more times in this interview. My goodness. I was like, you are truly, like, I've interviewed many people in my lifetime, and your story and the way you carry yourself and you care for others, and just, you are very inspiring. And there's so many people out there who are so grateful for you. And we are so grateful you were with us today. But before we wrap up, we do something fun that we call the Fresh Five.
Okay.
I ask you 5 random questions that are not like really deep or anything like that.
This. I'll try and not go deep.
I'm like, it's not that deep is that what the youngins say? Yes. Okay, that's what it is.
Is that what the youngins say?
I always have to check. I never know. Gen Z stuff is over my head.
Oh, mine too.
So what is one song that you hear it and you immediately start dancing? Like, you cannot hold still.
Oh my gosh. Why can't I think of it right now? It's done by Megan Trainor, the dancing one.
I was like, all about that bass?
No, all about that. Well, you know, a little Shakira also gets me moving too. No, it's dancing, yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's with the Peanuts, and they're all so cute, and just gotta dance, Singing in the Rain. I'm like, I could keep going with all this.
Singing in the Rain is in my top 3 favorite musicals.
I love Singing in the Rain.
Love that. What is your favorite quote?
I think I did write one down just recently. It's just recent. And it went something like, it's not what you don't know that holds you back. It's what you do know that isn't true.
Literal chills. I'm going to have you text that to me.
I will text that to you.
That is a good one. You were a pro on Dancing with the Stars, right?
Okay.
Because that could be in the future. Who would be your dream star to dance with?
This is funny. Actually, I've gone on the show to
Yeah.
And they've done the interview process, and this is one of the questions that they had.
Oh, look how smart
So
I am. Look at that.
How smart you are. And I would die if they came back and said this was the recording of it. So here's a small story really, really quick about me is, I would be at Sundance Film Festival working there, and I'd be in charge of introducing the A-listers with the B-listers, and whatever else. Well, happened to show up is Gerard Butler. And I'm thinking to myself, first of all, does he still have the abs from... Does he have that washboard? I'm like, okay, it's cool, it's fine. But
that's not something you could ask someone.
No, I can't. There are some inappropriate, you just don't ask those questions. Yeah. But he shows up. There's a crowd of women, of course, prowling around him, but he comes in this private event that I'm in, and he comes in, and I'm like, everyone knows him. Why would I have to introduce him to anybody? True story. I have a great picture he would share with you. And he starts going around to each of the booths, saying hi to people, and I just kind of let him do his thing. Well, the event person comes up to me and says, hey, do you want a picture with Gerard Butler? And I'm like, oh, I'm okay. I'm fine. No, let him do his thing. And I'm getting a little kind of shy at the same time, like, be cool. Yeah. Well, he's like, he wants a picture with you. I'm like, oh. Okay, cool. This is so funny. I get up to him. I'm introduced to him. Yeah. And lineup of a camera crew is there. I don't know where the cameras came from. And he is this awkward moment where it's like a matter of like probably 2 feet apart. Yeah. Hi, as I go. Are we supposed to kiss? That's what he says to me. I go, I'm sure my husband wouldn't mind. I'm dead. Oh. I'm dead. No joke. And so we have this really funny picture together of us smiling and then a really funny duck kissing face. Funny because I'm like, I will never forget this. Well, get this. About 3 months later, my stepdad, who is a stunt man, he lights people on fire for... It's incredible. He goes, guess who I'm lighting on fire today? No way. He's like, Gerard Butler sent me the picture. I'm like, okay, I sent you the picture. So he's putting all the stuff on for Gerard Butler. And then he goes, hey, we know someone in common. And Gerard's like, huh? Who? Elaine Wadsworth. I'm not sure who that is. And then he shows him a picture and he goes, Sundance Film Festival girl. I am majorly, I guess, I've left a mark. So he knows me as Sundance Film Festival girl. So when this question came to when I was being
interviewed for Dancing with
the Stars, Gerard Butler, I think it'd be hilarious. And who wouldn't want to watch Gerard Butler on the floor?
All right, if you were on a desert island and you could only eat one food over and over again, what would it be?
I love food, but something that I could eat over and over and over again, hoping that I had the right nutrients and that I was being well fed. Chicken.
That was very methodical. Yeah, I have asked that question many, many times, and no one has been like, chicken. But you know what? Good for you, Lannie. Get that protein. You are going to survive on that desert island forever. I'm sure there are spices on the island. I mean, I didn't give you the parameters of that. So that's so number 5, and the very last question, I'm like, I don't know if I can move past that one. That was, what is something that you do every morning to make sure you start your day off right?
On that same topic, I always have to eat
chicken?
No. But going even further to that is I have to do some type of exercise. I have to get my body moving. And I knew that I love dancing, but there's a little bit more to that, and that is movement with the body. I will go on a walk with my dog, or I'll go down in my studio and start practicing something, or I'm going to a yoga class, or I'm going to Pilates, or I'm doing aerial work, or weightlifting classes. Like whatever I'm doing, I need to get my body moving, and I have to do that every single day.
All right, that was your Fresh 5. Lannie, you have been an absolute joy to talk to. I could talk to you for hours and hours on end. For everyone listening, thank you so much. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe, and we will catch you next time.
Congrats, you made it to the end. If you want to continue to freshen up your day, you can watch us on Fresh Living every weekday on CBS Channel 2 in Utah at 1 o'clock. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel, KUTV Fresh Living, and follow us on social media. We will see you next week.